Does it blend? Nope. What is the OnePlus 2? Well, OnePlus is a fairly new Chinese smartphone producer, and they aim to provide a flagship experience for a reasonable price, and 2 is their second generation smartphone. Why does it suck so much compared to the OnePlus 1? I wouldn't really say it sucks compared to the OnePlus 1, like it's a better phone than the OnePlus 1. I'd rather have the OnePlus 2 than the OnePlus 1, but it's not as good in its market and it didn't make as big of an impact as the OnePlus 1 did. Is it a worthy upgrade from the OnePlus 1? Not really. I'd say it's definitely worth paying extra money to get a OnePlus 2 instead of a OnePlus 1, but if you already have a OnePlus 1, it's not really worth the hassle to sell it and pick up a OnePlus 2 instead. Can I have yours? Yes. How the hell do you actually get one? Well, first you need to get your hands on an invite. You can either buy an invite on something like eBay, you can get one from somebody else who's already bought the phone and they have invites to share, or you can just sign up for the waiting list that has millions and millions of people and that OnePlus is giving invites to. And then once you have an invite, you can just go buy the phone on their website. Do you think that the invite system is a disappointment? Absolutely. I was really expecting OnePlus to abandon the invite system this time around because so many people last year complained about it and it was so annoying and no one had anything good to say about it, but lo and behold, they went with it again. And I get that they don't have the manufacturing capacity to satisfy millions of customers right now, but you're losing customers with that invite system because people are waiting to buy the phone and they need a phone, so they're just going to go buy a different phone and they won't end up buying a OnePlus 2. So I hope that next generation they abandon that system. How good is the manufacturer support? Their customer support is actually really good. Last year when I got my OnePlus 1, the first one I got was defective upon arrival, and they were really quick about replacing it and getting me with a functioning one, and that was really surprising from such a brand new company. And then their press and media relations are also really good. I just sent one email asking for an invite so I could buy a phone and review it, and they provided me with one very quickly. Is it competitive to an iPhone, and what iPhone generation could it be best compared to? I don't really know what you mean here. It's as competitive to the iPhone as every other Android phone is because they're both in the smartphone market, but in terms of what it's most compared to is the iPhone 6 Plus, really just because of its size. They're both huge devices and it actually fits inside the footprint of the iPhone 6 Plus. There's no other iPhone that really is similar to it at all. Where does the camera place among other smartphones? I'm not the most knowledgeable source on smartphone cameras. I don't actually use my smartphone cameras that often other than for like Snapchat and stuff. And for me, it's a solid, good enough camera. I'm gonna link MKBHD's camera review in the description below because he goes into a lot more depth. And if you're wondering how good the camera is, you will find your answer there. How does the fingerprint sensor compare to Touch ID? I would say it's right below Touch ID and then right above Samsung's fingerprint sensor. Samsung's fingerprint sensor a lot of times would not work if I was placing my thumb in a different orientation. The OnePlus 2 is better at that. If I'm just whipping out my phone and do it real quick, it usually works, but then Touch ID almost always works, so it's right in between those two. Can I put my Verizon SIM in it? Unfortunately, the OnePlus 2 does not have CDMA compatibility, so neither Verizon nor Sprint will work with the OnePlus 2. Is the lack of NFC a big deal for you? For me personally, it's really not that big of a deal. I used mobile payments once and that was Apple Pay and then I never used it again, so it really doesn't affect me that much. But for people that do use mobile NFC payments a lot, it's gonna be a big problem, obviously. How is the battery life with heavy usage and general day-to-day usage? I'm not that heavy of a user on my smartphone, so I can't talk too much about this. The most heavy thing I do is GPS navigation, and that kinda takes a toll on the battery, but it's never died on me before the end of the day yet, and in general day-to-day usage, it is more than enough juice. Does the phone overheat while playing graphically intensive games? Overheat? No, it just gets a little warm to the touch if anything, and it's really not bad at all. Does it still have the screencast app? Good question. No, it does not. What's your most and least favorite things about the OnePlus 2? My favorite thing is the Kevlar back I'm rocking because not only does it look amazing with the carbon fiber look, but it's also a soft touch, rubberish, matte feel, and it feels really good. And easily my least favorite thing is USB-C. And I haven't complained about this too much in my reasons not to buy video because it is the future technology with USB interfaces, but right now the only USB-C cable I have is the one that came with it, and it's just a big inconvenience to be a different platform than all my other cables. In your opinion, did it live up to to the hype? No. I mean, it was a ballsy and probably bad decision to go with the flagship killer name because that's a big name to live up to, especially while you have no NFC, a non-removable battery, and you don't even support CDMA. What would you like to see on the OnePlus 3? First and foremost, I want to see them abandon the invite system. Then my primary wishes are NFC, a removable battery, and CDMA support. But if they really want to be the best, they should get a faster camera as well, wireless and fast charging, and expandable storage. But that's a tall order, and I know that, especially under the $400 price point. That's it for this video. Let me know what you think of this type of video in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay classy.